Yo boys, back with another video. Today we're going to be doing the good old-fashioned Assassination Rogue guide, and pretty much we did a... Actually, let me turn in this quest real quick. So a lot of people have been wanting this, obviously, for... Now, when I'm recording this tomorrow, this is not the updated version. However, if Kingsbane does get switched out, the reason I'm making this guide now is because obviously I have the time, and on top of that, it's it's very little gonna change. Assassination has always been the same. Unless you're running some extinguish one-shot build, it's always the same. It's always been the same. You're doing the same thing. You're literally just bleeding, kindling off DR, and literally that's it. So it's that's why I'm making this guide today or tonight. Technically, it's 6 o'clock. I actually just hit 2100 on my DH. I was like 40 and 24 or something. So I'm gonna rock that new Elysion, which is kind of mid. Not gonna lie about that one, but it is what it is. Okay, let me just put it as this. So that's the new illusion. If anyone was curious, um, it's not too bad, I guess. I mean, it's better than what they've normally been putting out, but yeah, regardless, it's definitely not something that I would really maybe run unless you're running like some blue weird build. It's kind of weird, but I'll run it for this video. So pretty much all you're doing is I'm going to go through the add-ons. This is the same thing for the sub rogue and pretty much everything else. We're gonna start off with the add-ons. Ability team tracker. I haven't even gotten this to track my own DRs yet. So I wouldn't even bother running this unless you know how to put the DRs in yourself, because I'm still trying to find that out to where I can have my own self DR. That way I know when they're going, but I kind of already know, so it's not really a worrisome for me. Big debuffs, this is a must. Make sure you have big debuffs. Capping, what capping does is not only does it allow you to see your Q, your good old-fashioned Q-Iante, as you can see, it also in the game will show you the ICD. So that's usually the only thing I use it for is the ICD, so I know when the eyes are going to be coming up, and that's pretty much what that's for. Damage meter obviously is the good old-fashioned damage meter. Nameplate cooldowns, same thing, nameplates. If you're wanting to look, like when I target somebody and it looks over the nameplates and it tells me what they have, that's what that is. So make sure you have nameplate cooldowns. Omnibar, I only really run this when I'm playing on my caster and I'm just tracking kicks down here. That way I don't have to look at their nameplates. You can do it either way. A lot of people just track stuns down here instead of looking at people's nameplates. They just look at Omnibar and they set all the good stuff to down here. A lot of people do that, but I don't. Omni CD, it tracks their cooldowns. I'd also have this. Definitely a need. S Arena updated. I actually copied my thing off of Hansel, but I kind of switched it up a little bit. It's pretty much you just go through it, and if you guys want to know my settings for this, I will go to my S Arena here, and this is exactly how my thing's spaced. So if you pause the video, just put it exactly like how I have it, and you'll be good to go. And pretty much, I'm pretty sure all this other stuff's just the same, but I'll go down here real quick just to show you guys. But I'm pretty sure it automatically goes like this. So you guys can pause the video, just copy it, or do whatever you want to do. But as you can see, when I test it, that's what it looks like. Pretty, basic. But those are basically my add-ons. I run Trophy GCD, but that's just the thing down here that basically tells me what I'm pushing. I really only use it for you guys, so you guys can see what I'm pushing. A lot of other people run it too when they're making videos or streaming, because a lot of people want to see what they're clicking. But, that's pretty much all that is. So that's pretty much the add-ons. Now we can go with the build. Right now I'm running this build, and if you would like to have this build, I'll have it in the description. Now this might change, because apparently they're messing around with Kingsbane. So we might not be running Kingsbane, but the same thing. Even if you're not running Kingsbane, you're still going to be doing basically the same thing. Assassination never changes. It's basically the same thing every single time. I have yet to really try Outlaw. I tried it, but then I mean, it's really, I don't know. I haven't tried an arena. I tried it in solo shuffle, and honestly, I just faced like two DHs and got smelted. So I can't really base it off of it. So I'll end up trying it again and seeing what's goody. But until DHs get nerfed tomorrow, then I'll start playing other classes. Same thing with Rested Rude. But pretty much that's my build. Now for your PvP talents, pretty much, if you're not disarming something, I would just run the Veil of Midnight, and what this allows you, it's basically a bubble, and it takes off all bleeds, so it's really good versus Assassination Rogues and like Feral Druids, and stuff like that, or like DKs per se, because you can bleed all their death coil stacks and stuff like that. So for stuff that you don't want to disarm, that's what I would run, and that's pretty much your two options. Either you run the bubble or you run disarm. Usually this is what mine looks like, and then when I can't disarm something, I run veil, or if I'm visiting an assassination rogue or a feral, I run midnight. But usually it's going to be disarm, and then these two really never change. You're always going to be running chemotoxin and smoke bomb. So that's pretty much my build. If it changes, I'll let you guys know. So I'll make a new. I'll go to the description or go to the comments and repost the new link. If the link does change, I don't know yet. Not many there's very few people that actually play Assassination. Um, Obviously the only classes that have been played is like the DK, BM, just the current broken stuff. So, I don't know how much is going to change, but that's pretty much the build. The macros, I actually have zero macros. I did have a macro for my death mark, but since I'm not playing orc and I'm also not running the badge trinket, there is no macro you need, so you just can click the button and that's pretty much all, that's all there is to it. And so that's no macros. I have zero macros. So we can just put this off and you can just go like how you would normally. The only macro I have is my Meld Macro, and that's pretty much all this allows me to do is I click it and it'll automatically put me in stealth off of my racial. So that's pretty much all that's used for, and I will show you guys right here real quick. And I'm pretty sure it is. It could be. Trying to find it here. I'm pretty sure it's this one right here. So I'll make sure I put it in the description as well. So if you're wanting to know, because sometimes you can't see it on the screens because it's so small. So, I'll put it in the description. So if you want to go to the description or whatever, just go copy there, and I'll make sure to put it there. I'm too lazy to just I could just zoom in on this, but yeah, nah. I don't get paid enough for that. So that's pretty much it. Now I do have a Sap Macro as well. I have these in every single video that I've ever done a guide on in the last like couple years. I've had these macros and I show them every single time. Same thing, the Sap Macro will be in the description. I'll make sure to put them in the description this time so you guys can check it out and copy it yourselves. Because a lot of people wonder how I'm sapping. All I do is I do this and it'll look for somebody in front of me. And when they're in my, you know, area and I see them, it'll automatically target them and sap them. That way I don't have to manually, do it. So I'm pretty sure, I don't really even know which one it is, to be honest. I have so many macros, but I'm pretty sure it's this one. It's the sap times 2. Yeah, it looks like that's what it is. I'll put it in the description. Same thing. This is a really good macro to have on every rogue because you can sap rogues out of stealth or druids or whatever's in stealth, stuff like that. So that's pretty much it for the add-ons and pretty much all that's it for there. For gear-wise, the gear you're gonna run. I don't even know if you want to be running 2-set or not, to be honest. It. I think it's probably good because it's making you do more nature damage over time. So honestly, I'm running it because I usually run it on my sub, and apparently it's good on outlaw. So it is what it is. So I don't really care. It's probably not the best, I don't think, but I mean I run it regardless. So there's that. I have the crafted boots, which give me primary stat, and how you get those is if you did the weekly quest here, you'll get 2 sparks. You'll get one from PvPing, and then you'll get one from doing these quests, and you'll get a box that gives you another one that allows you to craft another piece. That's pretty much all you had to do to get that other piece, but it looks like Tuesday you'll be able to get another one, so if you didn't do this quest this week, don't worry. Next week or Tuesday, you'll be able to restart, log back on, do PvP, get another spark, and then craft your piece, so then you're up, you're good to go. But I'm pretty much just going verse mastery. Again, not really going haste with this, you're just going as much mastery as possible. I'm running the crafted ring. I'm also running the Titanic ring from last season because I'm getting a lot of mastery from it. And I'm also getting the 249. Now, if you did craft this and get it buffed up, it would be, I think in PvP it's like 4 something. So I think it buffs up, but I'm not 100% sure. Pretty much just the basics. And this next piece should be mastery verse, but I went, I don't know why I did. I think I was because I was playing Outlaw and I copied somebody, so this should be switched, but it's whatever. So gems, you're going to be running these Zen gems, Zen Netherite, and that's pretty much all there is for the good old fash. That's pretty much all there is for the gear, and now we're going to go and test the good old fash rotation. So this is all you're going to be doing. when you come out of stealth, you're going to get improved growth. So as you can see up here, you have about 2 or 3 seconds with your subterfuge to get your as many growths on everybody that you can. So your main goal is to get a improved growth on every target that you can, because that growth is going to do a lot of damage. So for example, if you're going to be opening, you're going to do this. So 1, 2, and 3. And so as you can see in that time, I got that extra bonus from on 3 people, and that overall damage just from growths is going to do a lot of damage. Already 300k damage just on 3 targets. And then off that, after you growth them, all you're going to be doing is this. So I'm going to restart that pretty much. All you're going to be doing is you're growing improved growth, and then you're going to full rupture on all targets, and then after that, then you're good to just do damage. You pretty much are just you don't really want to have 2 shivs. You pretty much want to use one on every single kidney, pretty much. Unless you're bursting, and then on top of that, you can honestly just use 2 in a row. Just do 1, then 2, and then, by the next time you have another kidney, it'll beat up again. But pretty much all you're doing is this. So, you're going to improve growth, all targets. So, let's say there's only 2, because let's say you're in a 2s match. So, if you didn't sap in the opener, you're just going to grow him, rupture, get your combo points up, and pretty much just rupture him. Now that you have both of your ruptures up, you're good to go. You can pretty much just stack it up. I use my Kyrian before I kidney usually, and at that point you're ready to just kidney shiv, and you're good. Now, if you're wondering when you use your spikes, you're using that pretty much after your rupture. So pretty much after you bleed everything. So after you improve growth, after you rupture everything, then you're gonna bone spike, bone spike. Now you've gotten all your bleeds up. You have your improved growth, you have your rupture, and you have your improved spike on every target. At this point, you're good to kidney, and you're good to go. Now, if you're facing a double DPS, just go in with a cheap shot and then grow, because obviously you don't want to be kidneying. You need to be stunning ASAP. When you're facing a double DPS, you need to get that damage out quick. So pretty much this is how it'll look when you're facing a double DPS. You'll open with a cheap shot into a grow, into either a mutilate and then a rupture, or I think you might just be able to cheap shot grow and then just get a rupture going and then just go with your go. So you'll cheap, grow, rupture, and then you can use your Kyrian, use your separate spawn bike, and then shiv, and then just do your damage. At this point, you can just you want to hit those blue dots and event them. And that's pretty much a non-burst go. Obviously, if you're bursting in the opener versus a double DPS, which you should, wait until you get all bleeds up, and then you just full send it, and then you just do unhealable damage. And if you're wondering when you Kingsbane, you want to do that after you've done all the other things. So after you've done all the bleeding, pretty much on your kidney is when you want to use it, and then do your damage. So you want to use Kingsbane after you've gotten all your bleeds up. It's kind of a chore, I'm not gonna lie, because you're keeping up your bleeds. You're not gonna be hitting no fat numbers. You'll just be doing you're rot. You're like an affliction warlock, so you're gonna be opening. You're gonna be getting your bleeds up. So boom, boom. There we go. So we have our bone spike, all of our bleeds up. At this point, this is when we can kidney and then just use all of our burst, and then we're good to go. So keep our bleeds up, renew it, kidney, use our burst, shiv, echo, and then we can just Kingsbane and then be done. And then all we're doing is keeping our bleeds up and hitting those blue spots and keeping your slice and dice is the main thing. But once you get your slice and dice, even if it's at 1 or 2, every time you envenom, it's gonna basically reset it. So that's a good thing about even if you can only get a 1 or 2 common point slice and dice up, just do it because your venom's gonna reset it regardless. But like I said, your main thing, keep your bleeds up. Use thistle teas while you're doing your burst. Like as you can see, when I'm running out of energy really quick, I'm like energy starved. That's when you want to reset it. So while you're pumping, if you're running out of energy, that's the time when you want to use your thistle teas. You don't really necessarily, you can use it while you're bursting because you get an extra mastery buff. But it doesn't really do that much of a difference, to be honest. It's not really gonna do. There's not a crazy difference. I just use it for the energy. But like I said, keep your bleeds up. You have your slice and dice up. At this point, you can just echo, kidney, shiv, Kingsbane on your off goes, and you're just hitting your combo points on the blue dots, and that's pretty much it. Keep your bleeds up. And honestly, when you're playing the racial Shadowmeld, what you're able to do is instead of having to vanish extra garrote, once your garrotes fall off, what you can do is whenever two people are stacked or even three, you can racial and then while your subterfuge is going off, so here I'll use my racial here and I'll come back out. So boom, I'll have that 3 second delay when I can get those, the good old fashioned, garrotes up. And that's when you want to use that. You can also use it for blind sabs, but like I said, you're not gonna really, unless your healer can like CC beforehand or you kenny them. So for example, I wouldn't really necessarily do this unless like I wouldn't even go for it. It's not even worth it to be honest. But there's sometimes when I'll kenny the healer. Like if let's say the DPS is at like super low and I know he has no defensive, I'll just go run over there, kenny the healer, and just keep pumping on the DPS while he's kennied because I'm getting that extra CC. But you're going to be using that ratio for just pretty much extra damage. After your improved growths go and you're going to be ready for a kidney again, you're just using it. And you'll have 2 or 3 seconds to just go around and grow everything and then just do the same thing. So again, this is how your opener will look. If you do have something sabbed, great. If not, you're just going to bleed. Even if you have a sabbed, honestly, I would just break it. Honestly, because you want as much damage as possible. So even if you did sap this target, I wouldn't even bother sapping, honestly, unless it's like a double DPS or something. But usually you're just garroting, rupture, spawn bike, mutilate, rupture, spawn, or the separated bind spoke, whatever it's called, bone spike. But at this point, you have both your bleeds up. The moment you have your bleeds up, all you're going to be doing the same thing. You can even Kyrian first. It doesn't matter that much. So you can Kyrian, Kidney, use your burst, Shiv, Kingsbane, Evenom, and then just go in and hit those blue dots. And then right when your rupture is about to fall, just get it back up there, get your grow back up there, and just keep doing damage. You can even slice and dice midway. Not really a big deal. But if, let's say, they use defensives, it's not really worth using a Shiv. But if you want to keep your go going, it's not going to hurt you to use a Shiv. By the next kidney, you'll have one up. But usually I use Shivs on kidney goes, and if they're not below like 60%, or the healer's not CC'd, I won't use a Shiv. But you can always use a Shiv and just keep it going. It won't matter that much. So I'm seeing if I missed anything here. And yeah, you can also use your vanishes for like, vanish cheap shots on healer or to like CC. So for example, it's very rare that this will happen, but you can vanish sap a healer off CC. So let's say you know, your healer feared somebody or you got some type of CC to where he's out of combat, you can vanish, go for it. It's not really worth. I would just use vanish defensively and then right before you come back out, just do the same thing you would do with your racial. So again, let's say we bleed this guy up and we bleed this guy up here. So let's say, for example, I use my racial, so I go in stealth, I rupture, or I garrote him, and then, grow him. As you can see, I'm getting that improved garrote. Because when they silence them, that's how you know when you're getting the improved garrote going on. And just keep your bone spikes on all targets at all times. Keep both bleeds up at full at all times. And then, if your growths are about to fall like this will be the time to when you would want to use your racial to reset the improved growth on all the targets you can. Usually you want to do it when they're stacked. So that way you're guaranteeing, two growths, and that's pretty much all there is to it. So I'm seeing if I missed anything. But yeah, you're just doing bursts like that. It's not a hard thing. Like I said, go out there, get your burst up, get your slice and dice up. Even if it's only 2 points, it's fine. Get your full combo points. And same thing, you can either Kyrian before. Honestly, that's usually what I do. I usually just have my Kyrian up beforehand, so I'll Kyrian, get my bleeds up to make sure I don't have to renew it while I'm doing burst. I'll kidney, use my death mark, Shiv, Kingsbane, use my Venom, and just keep popping. And at this point, I can renew my Rupture right before it ends. So I'll renew it, renew my Garrote, and just keep going. Renew my Slice and Dice. And at this point, this is literally all it's gonna look like. And as you can see, I'm popping off about 100k. Kingsbane does do a lot of damage right now. But no, that's pretty much all there is to it. It's not a hard spec. You'll get to it. It's definitely one of the easier specs. It's easier in Outlaw, easier in Sub. It's definitely a first spec that I would recommend right now. It's not hard. You just need to keep your bleeds up, do the same rotation as I did, and then just use your racials to improve your growth. So right as your growths are ending on everybody, and if you have your, Shadowmeld, and you're like, okay, I have my Vanish still, so I don't really need my Shadowmeld, that I'm gonna come out regardless, because it doesn't give you a shield when you go in stealth. So if you have any bleed on you or any AoE, it's gonna take you out anyway, so you'll have like 2 or 3 seconds to get those improved growths off. So right before usually those growths end, that's when you want to do it again. And it also will silence a healer. So let's say you're pumping on a healer. So let's say I did this. So I'm opening on this guy. I get my bleeds up. While I'm bursting, I can use my facility. You can either use it beforehand, it's fine. You have 3 of them, so I usually use them when I'm down low on the good old-fashioned energy. But pretty much, usually this is another way you can use your racial. And let me get that bone spike. Let me get my bleeds renewed. Let me get my comm points. I echo here. And then at this point, we're gonna pump him, and then right as our kidney ends, we're gonna racial and then improved growth. So we're gonna kidney here, shiv, Kingsbane, Venom, and then right as it ends, we're gonna racial, improve growth. Now he's silenced, so he still cannot do anything while we're doing max damage, and we have Kingsbane on him, and we're still pumping, and that's without Death Mark. So that's why, you know, you want to be improved growing in the opener, even though it'll silence them, and then you want to use your racial the second go. That way you're able to do it again, and it's not DR'd. Because if you use it, let's say you improve growth the first time, so let's say I do this. So I improve them in the opener, I'm opening on both of them like this. I'm gonna, oh, okay, so the game just started, corroding, rupture. As you can see, it's silencing them right now. So when you kidney, you don't want to use this, because it's not gonna silence them for much. But if you're like very close to killing, it's worth it, because it's still gonna DR silence them for like a 2 seconds. So it's possibly worth it. But usually I would save it for the next go. That way your next Kingsbane, so the first go you're doing your Kingsbane. Now, if you do not get the improved Garrote the first time, so let's say they get you out of stealth and you don't have time to get the Garrotes, or they CC you or something, that's when you want to use your Shadowmeld the first go, because those improved Garrotes, I'm telling you, are insanely needed. If you can keep up a Garrote, like, you want to try to be getting reads. Now, not necessarily, running light for your life for reads, that's not the end of the world, but when you get the chance to just fall back for a second and get a restealth even for a second, you have 2 or 3 seconds to get those improved growths. That's what you want to be looking for. So if you ever get a stealth, immediately go back out, step, improve growth. Even if it's only on one person, it's 100% worth it, because it's keeping that improved growth and it's doing unhealable damage. So hopefully you guys did learn something, and I will make a new guide on Assassination Rogue. I'm still, waiting to get to Outlaw, so I'll make sure I check that out and get you guys a guide on that as well, and we'll see how it is. I haven't really played much Rogue, I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, I was just getting absolutely farmed by 1200 DHs. I'm actually almost negative on this guy as a stats when I first played it the first day. Absolutely, or I think it was like the second day or something. But, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.